Yeah, boy. Back. This is Pyro podcast coming in to you live in Technicolor. My name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Six Flair, in the building for yet another episode here on SoundCloud and YouTube and on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, I should say.
Please hit us on YouTube. We're dying over there.
Please hit us on YouTube, man. Listen, we dying. We the last of a dying breed. We need y'all to save us. Hit us on YouTube. I'm joining the building, as always, with my man, Swervy Lee, a.k.a. 2 Sub Swerve, a.k.a. Swervy Atmos, a.k.a. Swollen Pal, f.k.a. Yoko Tuna, a.k.a. I was going to hit you on that, but I know you had bigger fish to fry. How goes it?
It goes, man. It goes. It's been a minute. This pod is probably needed, ready to do it, ready to get into some BS. That is wrestling. So
Exactly.
And I'm sure they supplied some of it.
Oh, man, listen. Also in the building, ain't nobody dope as him because that drink he gonna pop in a second is so fresh. His name is No Chill Drew, a.k.a. EGB, a.k.a. the Applebee's Don, a.k.a.
I forgot to get a can on my way home.
Oh. You swerved me, bro. What the hell?
Man, the can is like Bill O'Brien, no longer in the building. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Oh. 0-4 start? Yeah, that'll do it to you. How are you, sir?
I'm here. It's been a long week, but I'm here.
It has been a very long week. Very, very long week. A busy week. I'm tired as hell. I'll give you a quick update. I'm pretty sure you guys want to update the people. I'll let you do that part, but I got something to say first. I moved. Me and my lady. At the time I moved, my fiance. Okay.
Mm.
You're right. Go ahead, let that out one more time for him, Swerve.
I said,
We'll get to that in a minute. Moved in with her. So far, so good. No arguments. No, you left this on the floor. Except, now this is something I don't know. Our listeners are dealing with this. Uab Jeff, Avi, Drew, Swerve, let me know. I leave the toilet seat up when I'm at my house. I'm a man. That's what we do. I don't need to put it down.
Right.
I get here, and I left it up, and I got yelled at. Left it up again, I got yelled at. I said, one time a lollipop, 2 times a sucker. The third time, let me go ahead and leave it down. Down. And then all of a sudden, I get a message that goes, yeah, dog, your shoes is ruined. I said, what you mean? I said, I left the seat down for you. Yeah, but I didn't know you was going to leave it down, all the way down. So I left the lid down, too. And let's just say, we lost a good one. She didn't make it.
So, let me figure out how I can say this.
As I'm saying it, I was like, yeah, this might be a little TMI, right?
So, like, yeah, because I'm trying to, like, so basically, she puts the car in reverse, but she don't look back there. She just go back.
Facts. On this one trip. So,
okay.
Not
Right now, if you're doing that, that's on you.
That's what I said.
Listen, never have I gone into a bathroom and been, especially if I got to sit down, and been like, no, I'm just going to sit down. So you're just gonna be sitting on somebody's piss, possibly. You know, somebody might have just sit on that seat. You're just gonna be like, "No, I'm not gonna look."
Listen, Drew, that's what I said, bro. Now it's coolant all over the place, windshield all over the place.
Wait a minute. It's Andy P.
Come on, man. Definitely antifreeze, man. Come on, man. The Pennzoil that came out, so now you gotta get the mop and clean it up. Now some of the coolant, some of the liquid from the whip got on my shoes, so my shoes have been since perished.
Now
And,
here is a second question that the listeners may be wondering.
Yes.
Why is the shoes in the vicinity of the throne?
So, National Fuel came over here doing work.
Okay.
Right, to tear up people's front lawns. So they cut out some of the hedges in the front to put the meters there, right, in the front. So they cut some of the edges off, and they had to dig up the dirt to get through to the pipe. So they dig up the dirt, put some more in there, and good to go. Looks good from about 10 feet away. So parking on my street is crazy. I had to park in my driveway. So when I get out, as soon as I step on the dirt, feels like quicksand. So I'm like, oh crap, let me hurry up and gallop to the porch. As I do that, my shoes is already muddy as all hell. So we put the shoes in the tub, washed them off, cleaned them, got the dirt off. There's a vent right by the throne, let them dry. So
Okay.
they by the toilet. And that's where they met their ultimate death.
So it was just over for these before you even got in the house. Basically, these were destined to this. This was their fate.
These are some doo-doo Nikes. They doo-doo. I'm moving, so these are my moving, so I'm not really upset. But at some point, like, do I ask for, reimbursement? Like,
You know, based off some other conversations that may not be known to the listeners or even Drew, I don't think you can. Um, there's a certain uh, listening device that you don't have anymore. So you might have to just eat that one.
I knew I didn't have a leg to stand on with this one, though. I knew I said say something, but I can't.
I never knew that I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Drew.
I never knew that your wife endorsed Slim Jims, because if you're just sitting down without looking, you're fucking savage.
Hey, man. I wish she could snap into some common sense and not sit on the lid of the seat, But Drew just alluded to it. What did you call her, man?
Savage?
No, before that. Asshole.
Well, first off, before I answer that, I will say I've had that same experience. She didn't shit on the seat, but she did fall in a couple times. So it's like, are y'all not looking back? Like, come on. Like, I'm always looking at that seat, man. I'm going to make sure if I'm going to be sitting in some piss. If I'm going to sit in some piss, that's going to be my damn fault. But
the rhetoric is, and this does not apply to all of this particular gender, but in my experience, men are logical and women don't be thinking like that. So they don't know to pull the seat up or look behind them to even know if it's down or up.
Oh no, that's 100% facts.
I don't want to bring it down from 65 subs to 63. So I had to tread lightly.
But I will answer your question that you asked. Besides calling her a savage, I did call her by a different title, and this title she got when you signed your freedom away, sir.
I did.
That was wife.
Jersey
Total Mac is now married Mac. I'm out the game. Joining Avi and UAP. Me and UAP had a nice spirited conversation. And yeah, it's different. It feels a little it felt different when I was one of 3 married couples in the spot on Sunday with her friends, and I was like, the room suddenly shifted to the wives talking to each other, and then the guys being forced to talk to each other, and I was like, okay,
Y'all was on a play date and you didn't want to be.
yeah, didn't even know.
Oh Lord! So where did you go after that? Did you go to like a club somewhere and shake your nuts? I mean, what happened?
So I'll even say so before. So people are like, oh man, you gotta do a bachelor party, you gotta go somewhere, you gotta enjoy yourself. I went out with a couple of friends and we went out for some beverages, and I got ripped. I didn't plan on it. I planned to take it easy, couple of drinks, but then a friend of mine came into the spot. We used to go to school together, and yes, before you ask me, the friend was a girl. The girl says, "Oh, you get married? Uh, Waiter, have some Remy over here." So it was like more Remy than I've ever consumed in my life. Remy is alcohol, by the way. And I got done off. So I went home. I bought some peanut butter cookies from the bar, by the way. Phenomenal.
It's an odd choice, but go ahead.
They came in with a box of them. I said, I'll take them. So it was about 3 or 4 peanut butter cookies. They were amazing. Best cookies I ever had in my life. Maybe because of influence. Why I said that, I don't know. But they were good. So I came home, and in addition to the cookies, went to the single man's favorite meal. You guessed it, folks. I had a Hot Pocket.
The meal of champions.
So man. Say it again.
The meal of champions, right there.
It was a Philly steak and cheese Hot Pocket.
Oh man.
You know, come on, man. Top 2, man. And it ain't 2.
I debate between that and the jalapeno steak one.
Come on, man. It's top 2.
Clean off your fucking toilet too.
Well,
I had a Hot Pocket a long time, but you know.
So now, mind you, the toilet incident happened that night, so that was a Friday. So the toilet is a real ham and egger here. Got beat up a lot. No entrance music. No name text at the beginning of the match. Nothing. So the toilet got what happened with my wife, and then Saturday I went to sleep. Saturday morning, about 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. Went to sleep, woke up, knew for sure I was gonna have a headache. Didn't have a headache. I had to empty my system, so I went to the bathroom. I'm sitting there and I'm just, looking at my phone and all of that. And I start drinking water. Like, okay, let's get this water in me. And then I feel it coming up. And I just go ahead and let it rip. All alcohol. I see remnants of the Hot Pocket. It was all gone. So the toilet took a beating.
So if you remember, it's an old scene from House Party where a kid was rapping and he said, "Step to the stage, too late, I blew it up." Are you telling me you threw it up?
I that's exactly what I'm telling you. and it was so bad my throat was hurting. So bad. But I made it through the ceremony. It was good. I had to wake up. I had to go get her band, which was a surprise in the morning. And that was at 10:30. So I had to be alert. I didn't have anything on my stomach at the time. I didn't eat till 12 o'clock. Ceremony was at 2. I went to go get some bacon strips, and the bacon kind of brought me back, and that was pretty good. But it was just family. Went to dinner with family, and then after that, I did shake my nuts at an establishment downtown. Had a couple of beverages there, but I was tame, and then went all the way back to Niagara Falls and stayed at the casino. So I'm still jet lagged off of that. I'm tired.
Now, did you guys have like a big ceremony, or did you guys just like
we
do
went
it just
right to City Hall, man?
It's the way to do it, man. Hey, guess what? You just saved yourself $30,000. Enjoy.
Free. Okay? No. Yeah. I mean, we do want to have something where our friends are there and family is there, but we're like, why don't we just get married in 2020 before the snow comes? Because we were against the 8 ball as is. You're not going to forget this year. You're not going to forget this year. So all the things that happened this year, it's gonna come to you very quickly. And I said, why not put saying I do at the top of it? So we did it, and that's it.
Now, you said that you had your bachelor party. Where did you go for that? I didn't quite hear that.
Chill, Drew. You're not ready for this spot, bro.
Hey, listen. We beat the shit out of fucking UOP Jeff during his bachelor party. We fucked that boy up. So I think that we're ready for your spot.
This is like, when you watch Ride Along, and it's like Godfather, D-Lo, and Mark Henry, and they're like, yeah, in Toledo, Ohio one night, and we just went to have a couple of beers, and we stopped at this one place, little hole in the wall. That's me. I was taken to a hole in the wall where the amount of liquor poured in a cup, if you were at a ritzy establishment, would probably cost you $30 to $40. Here, $9.
Damn.
So it's a lot of risk and it's a lot of reward.
All right.
No divas involved. No strippers. No bra and panties matches. Which, I mean, whatever. This was like kind of last minute. So the plan is to have not a real, but a bigger, ceremony, not 30,000 worth, but a bigger one. And then we'll actually plan to do these type of things. But with outside still, I don't know if it's safe yet. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, it still ain't safe out there.
Yeah, it ain't safe. You're right.
Word to Busta Rhymes.
Yeah,
hey, man, if a 77-year-old who's on a strict diet of McDonald's and Big Gulps gets through this shit, then I think that we might be able to consider this possibly safe.
Hey. Yeah, man, but appreciate y'all boys. But yeah, man, I wasn't the only one who had an eventful weekend, Drew. I think somebody was celebrating a birthday, maybe?
Yeah, I got old as fuck.
Damn.
Yeah. You know what's actually funny? I actually had to text somebody who's the same age and ask them how old they were to remember how fucking old I am.
Oh my God.
Because what's that?
I want to say you aren't reminded how old you are until one of two things. Somebody who's younger than you ask them, do you know who that is? And they'll go, no. You're like, oh, come on. How could you not know who that is? Like, that's how I know you're old. That, and damn, I forgot the second thing. Another sign you're getting old as hell. I guess that is.
Yeah, I don't know what the other side. Well, maybe it's the fact that you forgot is
That's
another
what I'm
sign.
saying.
Oh, dude, you know that this shit flies over my head.
Well, listen, I didn't ask you to fucking quote a Digital Underground song.
Yeah, that wasn't a cultural thing, Rude. That was just age right there. That's all that was.
And Union Underground, not Digital Underground. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, man. Whatever you say.
He's trying to come up with some obscure rock band for me to go, well, how do you know about them? And he fucked up their name. Come on.
I didn't, bro. Digital Underground is Humpty Hump.
Oh.
You know who Humpty
I was
Hump
about
is?
to say, just like me saying 25 Savage. I mean, come on.
I'm pretty sure there's a 25 Savage out there somewhere.
Well, there's at least two of them.
Exactly.
All right. Do we want to get into some wrestling?
Yeah. Before we get into wrestling, do we have anything from the gaming community? We've been hot every episode on the gaming community. I don't know if we have anything.
There's just been, videos about this one saying it runs hot, this one saying it runs cool, this one saying it's quiet, this one saying it's loud. It's just been stuff like that. I have seen a couple of fan-made videos of different like PlayStation consoles that look really real. And I would like to the point where you wish they were real, but they're not. Um, but nothing really. Oh, I will say this. So Sony's super quiet and hush mouth about everything, right? Still haven't seen what the damn thing looks like when you turn it on. But Xbox is they've been letting people show the load times, and it's pretty impressive, man. It's pretty fast. Like I don't see how you would want to go back after that. Like it goes from game to game pretty quick. And I don't know if it'll do that with the next gen games, but at least with the current ones you have now, and it loads them up like it's a pretty big deal. Like I don't think that they'll be too far from each other as far as system comparisons when it comes to the load times.
Yeah, that I did see too, and I was pretty impressed with the comparison from the Series X to the One X. And I'm like, damn. Even some games were like 10, 15 seconds. Other games were like a minute 10. I was like, okay, now we talking.
Yeah, because I'm just used to being able to go make a sandwich while I load Grand Theft Auto 5. And like now I won't be able to do that anymore.
But it's crazy though, because like between the One X and then the Xbox One, the load times were vastly different there. And the One X was like, damn, this is fast as hell. A comparison. Now you're talking about a full generation, not just a half, but a full one. And it's like light years ahead of the One X. So I'm looking forward to it.
I will say they have seen that with PlayStation 5's backwards compatibility with PS4. It looks like they're saying that you cannot do saves from PS4 to PS5. So if you have a game on PS4 and you're looking to bring it over to PS5, don't expect your saves to come with it.
There's absolutely no reason that they cannot do that.
I know. It just seems like they threw it in there just to look good, but they didn't really like put anything with it. Like as far as like actually like paying attention to that feature. It's just like, yeah, let's just have backwards compatibility, and then that's it.
So whenever you win a previous generation, you are typically cocky at the beginning of the next generation until you have to be humbled again. And this is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's also the other system that kind of lost it comes in swinging, and that's kind of what Xbox has done. But I will say this: whatever system I plan on getting, I think I'm going to go for the digital console. At first I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna stick with games. But man, there are times where I'm just like, I just don't want to play a game just because I don't want to have to get up, take out the disc, put it in. I wish it was just like that was one of the digital games. And I get spoiled when I do buy a game on PlayStation because I could just go right to it. And I'm like, man, with this next system, if it's going to be cheaper to do digital, I'm just going to do digital.
But don't you have discs already that you want to kind of like be able to still use?
Oh, I'm going to keep my PS4.
Oh, you're one of those guys?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm definitely one of those people.
Well, I got a Series S in here I'm going to keep. Like, I mean, I have a use for it. I didn't want to trade it in because I'm like, all right, I'll be like a month and a half with no game. And I don't want to do that because it also serves as a Blu-ray player. And I'm like, I can't not have any, type of entertainment like that. So I kept it. And I mean, it's just chilling. Right now, my biggest struggle is fighting over which port is going to get the better console in my eye, the PS or the Xbox. Because we all know on the TV there's that one dedicated port that has all the bells and whistles, and then there's another one underneath it that has some of it but not all. And I'm just like, I wish I can just put the 2-on-1 and be done with it.
Yeah, you have to Google HDMI splitter with those features if it's even a thing.
I think it's gonna take away. I don't even want to do it. I don't want to. Don't even want to do it.
But I do know that they have said that with Xbox, they're not looking to really focus on 8K Blu-ray, just because of the fact that they feel like that's not a huge component with the Xbox Series S. As far as it's not what they see a lot of people looking for, and it's something that kind of was driving up their price. So didn't expect to see something with like an 8K Blu-ray retracing for your DVD.
When you think about it, I don't know if $299 is expensive, seeing that they don't have to put a driver in there.
It's really not. It's really not at all, and I think that's why they're going to come out hot. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that digital PlayStation 5 drops in price after a few months, just because of the fact.
They got to stop going to every GameStop and saying, "All right, here goes 8 disc consoles and 1 disc."
That's the problem. That's why I'm telling you it's not going to be all that hot because they're only going to give you 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, then you have the people who have to buy the special editions every time their favorite game comes out. So you're going to have all the used consoles there.
I still haven't heard any news about any new, pre-orders, nothing like that. I didn't give up for 2020. I said I just look for them next year.
Fuck that shit.
There'll be some more coming out, I imagine, in the next couple of weeks. Because Xbox is saying they're going to have more a day of.
That's going to be, by the way, the most beautiful thing. If I do go all fully digital, I don't have to worry about them going, bro, you better pre-order. You better pre-order. Why? It's digital. You going to sell out of digital?
Well, see, the thing about digital, though, is the games aren't cheaper, and they should be. That's why I don't necessarily care about restricting myself to only digital. If they were cheaper, you got some kind of discount like you do on PC, it would be different, but you don't.
Yeah, the only thing is that I do know that PlayStation does a lot of times have like their deals. They'll have special sales just randomly pop up. So that's always a good thing with their digital editions. But other than that,
And
it's
you do know how much usable space you have on there, right?
Oh yeah, that's why you want to install them to actually play it, and then you just put it in your library.
Yeah. Internet goes out, you can't install it. Maybe that's just my problem.
Oh man. You guys ready to jump into some good old wrestling?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me put my night vision goggles on.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Bo Dallas.
No. Randall Orton.
You want to talk about that awful segment or what?
No, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, okay.
Don't even recall what all happened.
I'll say this, and then we'll get to it. Boy, I ain't never seen. Ric Flair might as well be on crack because he'll do anything for some money. And I don't know if that's the habit he's supporting, but damn, he'll come back to do anything.
Homeboy's got to eat.
Homeboy has to eat.
And so do all of his ex-wives.
What do we got for AEW, Drew?
So we start off AEW with Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks. This match was pretty good. Will Hobbs was making sure that Brian Cage really couldn't get involved. Darby Allin did get the win on Ricky Starks. Good way to kick off the show. We did then go to Cody, who was back, looking like he is introducing a 1960s horror movie for the TBS Scary Movie of the Week. He has his black hair, his black suit, his red fluffed up shirt, and his stupid neck tattoo. And he has addressing Mr. Brody Lee. He's being interviewed by Dasha Gonzalez, not Fuentes. He expressed shame in losing to Mr. Brody Lee 3 weeks back, in less than 3 minutes, rather. Then jumping at a Hollywood opportunity while still wondering who the hell he was. As it turns out, all he was just a guy who lost in 3 minutes. Brody Lee challenged him to a dog collar match, citing his role as AEW EVP. He said no. He teased leaving, but then returned to the ring. Noah's in no regrets. He accepted the match. So next week it will be a dog collar match. Brody Lee versus Cody Rhodes. Dark Order came out. And it started a brawl. Eventually, Nyla Rose showed up and started beating up some women. This caused the women division to start battling. I don't know where that came from. This segment was just a mess, in my opinion. But, we got our match for next week set up.
The emphasis on women. I heard you.
Yeah, I was wondering what was that.
This guy. Hey, at least she ain't shitting in your toilets.
This wasn't shit, bro.
No, I think she's in is shit, but she's not shitting in her toilet.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't on your toilet, so I mean that's a plus, right?
It was a number 1, not a number 2. But go off.
All right. So AEW Tag Team Championship match. SCU taking on FTR. During the backstage interview, Tony Schiavone asked FTR about their potential showdown with the Young Bucks. They kind of denounced it, questioning where the Young Bucks kind of got their title shot from since they didn't earn it. Then Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks blasted Tony Schiavone with a super kick and left the champs wondering why he didn't just target them. Moments later, FTR took to the ring for a defense of their championships. SCU was coming out of the ring next. They started kind of just like, their normal wrestling matches normally do, just like lockups. Eventually they did pick up the pace. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Eventually, their manager did get involved. It helped FTR get the win. FTR did defeat SCU to retain the match. Next match that we have is Isaiah Cassidy taking on Chris Jericho. Next week's show they were talking about will be a Chris Jericho's 30-year career celebration. So he's celebrating his 30-year career next week. But this week he's taking on Isaiah Cassidy from Private Party. This match was good, but it's Jericho. Is going to get the win, so there's really no shock in there. Next up, we have Orange Cassidy taking on 10 from the Dark Order.
I don't like how there's 2 Cassidys.
What's that?
I don't like how there's 2 Cassidys.
And right back to back too.
Right.
Orange Cassidy did get the win, so a win for Cassidy, as he defeated 10. Nothing really there. Britt Baker took on Red Velvet. Red Velvet sounds like a very delicious ham and eggs. kind of like the dessert you get at Denny's after you're done eating your ham and eggs. But, Britt Baker did get the win on this one. And then the last match, Jon Moxley.
Did she at least look at Did she sound?
I won't lie. I don't even remember Red Velvet, so I couldn't even tell you. Last match, Jon Moxley was taking on Eddie Kingston's choice of opponent, and his choice was the Butcher. Moxley, obviously.
Benny the Butcher?
No, Butcher from Butcher and Blade.
Oh, okay.
Buffalo stand up.
Yeah, I mean. Butcher coming down. Yeah.
Be clear.
I gotta say, definitely be clear. Thought it was Mason around this bitch. You know what I mean?
Butcher was able to keep up with Jon Moxley, so that was at least a good match. But Moxley did get the win eventually. Moxley will be taking on Lance Archer on October 16th. However, that match is in question since Lance Archer is positive. That being positive for COVID.
Damn it, man.
That's the end of Dynamite, by the way.
I'm really mad about that. I'm ready for Moxley to lose.
Aren't we all? I know we got some dirt, but I got to get some dirt off my chest right now. I got to say God bless the dead to the artist formerly known as Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, who is no longer employed by AEW.
So I guess, his contract was very short, and it didn't last long.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was, but
you can't make it here. You can't make it anywhere, kid.
I mean, like, golly, like,
right. Best friends run the company, and you're gone.
Now you're gonna come crying and climbing back for your job at WWE.
Hey Vince, I just want to say, you're looking very muscular today. And did I mention that I brought you a coffee? Well, I did. So if you want to hire me back, I know that a lot of your top stars, they could really use some wins. And I'm a guy who likes to look up at the lights. So woo woo woo.
Do we know why he left? Why he didn't work out, or?
I don't think it did. It's not that it didn't work out. It's just that his contract expired and he's just, a free agent. So he was really just doing a night-to-night basis. It's one of those things where we don't need you right now, pal.
Yeah.
But people are getting sick. You might as well give him a title shot.
I'll be surprised he didn't get a title shot. I honestly am.
I was about to say something and I forgot. Oh, the only way that I can see him coming back would be to be in the William Regal role, where he periodically would literally kiss Vince's ass. If the money got to be desperate for him, where he had to say, hey, I'll do anything to come back, because indie circuit, that is different with COVID. Not a lot of jobs out there. If there's a market for him in the WWE and there was one role he had to come back and we had to guess what type of role it would be for him to get his job back, that would be it for me. He'd have to come and be an on-screen stoolie. And I don't know if that's even an option for him. But I don't want to see him wrestle.
Yeah, but I can't see him in that role. Do you see him being an authority figure? Okay, guys, so after we're done playing with action figures, we got to get back into the ring and we got to have a stipulation on this match.
I know what he could be.
What's that?
RTC 2020.
Oh my God. You know what? Some gimmicks exist. You know, you thought they were dead, but I mean, Swervy. I don't know if Drew gave you the shovel, but you digging them shits up, man.
Can you imagine his music will just be him going woo 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 woo?
Well, you know what it is. He should just work with Swerve. So, like the Bizarro music that he plays when we come on, that should be his new music. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm just trying to find something for him, you know, Dana Brooke, you know, people like that to do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could join Retribution.
I think they're full already.
Yeah, they are their newest member.
Yeah, well, they're letting anybody in.
Hey, at least we found out who the hacker was.
Who the hell was that?
You didn't see who the new member was?
Oh, that's the hacker?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh God. Well, let's leave the suspense no more. The hacker is Mustafa Ali.
And he is now the leader of Retribution. So do you remember last year when people were talking about him possibly being in a WrestleMania main event role against Daniel Bryan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's leading a mid-card jobber stable to take on the pain. What is it? Pain business? Pain locker? Her business?
Hurt business. Locker. That's not it.
Jake Locker, whatever. You know, take on them. That's where he's at, and he's the hacker. And now he's heel. He was on SmackDown. Now he's on Raw. I think that we all kind of called the hacker being Mustafa Ali. I think at least one person on this show mentioned Mustafa Ali might have been the hacker.
Definitely wasn't.
It might have been Abby. I don't know. But I know I heard one person at least say that. But, I mean, come the fuck on, man. This sucks. I'm sorry, this sucks.
I mean, you know what? 90% of me saying that it sucks, but then there's the 10% of me that says, you know what? Let's give it a chance, because at some point in time, he did have a push. And
yeah, now
this is WWE meets Watch Dogs.
Well, yeah.
God damn, man, this ain't it. I don't call this a push. Yeah, I mean, I guess that, you know, the Hurt Business is on TV a lot, but God damn, dude. This stable's going to be gone in like 6 months. There's no longevity with Retribution.
I mean, again, I think this will be something that will come to head at Survivor Series and some type of tertiary importance level, meaning it's not like the A slot main events are concerned, but they're going to put enough effort into it for you to care about it. And my only issue is that I've said this the last time we were here. If you're going to make me care about something, don't turn the Hurt Locker or whoever, the Hurt Business, into a face faction, because MVP is not a face, Bobby Lashley's not a face, Shelton Benjamin's not a face. Don't make me choose, because I won't watch something else.
Well, how long do you expect a stable, which name sounds like a WWE overseas pay-per-view, to be around for?
About as long as the WWE overseas pay-per-views lasted.
I mean, they might as well be named, you know, Insurrection.
Rebellion.
WWE Rebellion. Yeah. I'll take it.
Those were the matches. Those were where the matches took place where somebody was like, "Hey, Brock Lesnar did face Stone Cold once," and you be like, "No, he didn't. He never fought him." And then they pull that up.
Saturday night main events, man. I'm telling you, that's the type of level we looking at here. Jeez Louise. What do you think the point was to have Mustafa Ali in this faction?
Give him something to do because he can talk.
People are making fun of the other members so much on social media that I think that they need to bring in an actual wrestler that's known by the audience to kind of like give it some. I don't want to say
just, their names are stupid.
They really are.
I mean, if you could, like, the Nexus, I don't think got laughed at like that when they were a bunch of nobodies. Well, they had some fun games there, but you know.
I mean, Wade Barrett wasn't coming out as B-Bear. Like, I mean, they
yeah.
But they need a Wade Barrett. They need somebody. They you know, like, all right, this group's missing a muscle, or this group's missing somebody on the mic. They kind of need all of those guys rolled into one, but not be like an A-level superstar. But somewhere in between, like, say if another world like Drew McIntyre was in this group. Okay. Or, again, I say put Dolph Ziggler in the shit. He's got nothing else better to do.
Put him in as a leader?
I mean, he's not 6'8", 250, 260.
No, I'm not saying you have to be for that, but I'm saying, like, I don't want to let's not elevate him anymore. He's already been up there. We need to elevate somebody else.
Right?
So please. I don't know, but not Drew McIntyre. I mean, not Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Mustafa Ali because, I mean, they know that they can get an upside from him, and he's a younger wrestler who, you know, I know has been vocal on not being pleased with not being on TV, and I know that he's been pushing to get back on TV, so that's great for him. I don't see how this helps him.
Just give him a month, and if it don't work out, we can always have Triple H swoop in and do like he did Rikishi and just take over the storyline.
Yeah. I don't
Rock. Another thing is on NXT TakeOver this past week. Did you see who came back to the ring?
I did not.
Swervy's girl, Ember Moon.
Oh, shit.
Is back in the ring. A lot of people thought her career was over, but she is back and she's on the yellow brand.
You know, I thought that while she was out, she was like doing a couple matches here and there on that reality of wrestling show that Booker T has. I'm just not sure if those were like old or were that brand new. It looked like it was sort of new, so she might have been warming up.
Trained with him, so that was when she was earlier in her career.
Oh, that was early.
Oh. Yeah, no, I thought that she might have been just done. But yeah, she's back. She's on NXT. She re-debuted on TakeOver, as well as Rhea Ripley is back as well.
Now, what do you think the reason behind this demotion is? Because this is definitely a demotion. I don't care what you say.
I'm not sure if it's a demotion as much as they're hoping that it helps her the same way it helped Finn Balor.
Wait, how do we know it helped Finn Balor?
Well, I mean, you figure he's the top guy in NXT now. whereas on Raw he was, you know, in the lower mid card. So you put him on NXT and you get him back, to a good spot, whereas Ember Moon was kind of in that same position he was. Just kind of like lofting around, not really finding a place. Put her on NXT, get her built up again, and then once she's, established again in there, then you can move her back to one, Raw or SmackDown. But I feel like she's been off TV so long, you put her on Raw or SmackDown, it's going to be like, oh, Ember Moon's back. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel differently about that, but okay.
We did, however, on SmackDown see who those vignettes are of that one woman putting on, the dress and everything, those high heels and everything. They were doing a vignette where you'd slowly see somebody like walking with heels and shit. And a lot of people thought it was like Summer Rae, but it's not. Did you see who this vignette was for?
It was a letdown. That's what it was.
God, right, it was. It was Carmella with a heel turn.
I'm sorry, Drew. Go ahead.
It was Carmella with the heel turn.
Is Corey still screwing her or what?
I mean, I'm assuming. But yeah, her whole heel turn was, she was doing all of her dance parties and shit like that, and she was getting nowhere, and she was just a laughing stock, and now she's not concerned with what the people think, and yada yada yada. Basically, just a copy and paste. Hey, I'm back as a bad guy. Here's why.
Right.
She's the SmackDown's Liv Morgan.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the new Emelina. Let's see if she actually debuts. More talking points from this past week programming. Did you see that Seth Rollins and Murphy are no longer a team?
Well, I saw there was something on posted on WWE's page where Seth is kind of patting Murphy on the back, and Murphy seems totally unfazed by it.
Eventually, he turned on Rollins. Rollins then, of course, kind of brushed that off and beat the shit out of Murphy, laid him out, eventually leading to Aliala's Mysterio. I'm going to mispronounce her name literally every week. I'm going to say it differently. Aliala Mysterio coming out to defend him and kind of get Mysterio out of there. So they're really pushing that kind of like, love story between those two. And of course, the Mysterio family not too happy with her getting friendly with Murphy. So somebody's been reading up on their Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my goodness. I want to say something, and please don't throw stones at me. But damn, don't you wish that Vince Russo was involved in some capacity?
Oh, on a pole in a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. Rey Mysterio's daughter on a forklift match. Fucking book it. And she's pregnant.
Right. Right, Seth.
Who's the dad? Oh, I don't know.
Right.
So right. I want to ask, did anyone catch Clash Champions this past week? Or not this past week, but when it aired, I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I caught it.
What did you think about Roman's segment with, was it Jimmy Uso?
You mean in the ring?
What's that?
You mean while we were in the ring together?
No, like their match at Clash Champions.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't hate it.
I thought that it was actually really good. I really do like what they're doing with Roman. I'm excited to see where it goes. It feels fresh, and I'm happy to see Roman as a heel. It's very compelling shit.
Yeah, that part was good. I mean, he was talking trash the entire time. Um, he wasn't spamming moves, but he wasn't doing anything incredible either.
I
It's
also do
just,
like how. Oh, sorry.
huh?
No, I'm sorry. What was that?
No, I was just saying he wasn't doing anything incredible either, but he wasn't spamming like the same move over and over again. Um, he did do something where it was like a running leg drop or something like that uh, from a standing position while
Which
the
is
guy was standing.
Ryder's
But
finish too.
but it just looked like it's not something a guy like him should be doing. That's like something Jeff Hardy should do. You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't come from Roman. But yeah, I'm hoping that this new look that he's supposed to have that was the first of three parts, and maybe next pay per view he'll remove the pants. Pause. Because that wasn't enough for me to just say,
Roman.
huh?
Show me what you got, Roman.
Yeah, that wasn't enough for me to just say, oh, it's a new outfit. I mean, everything was the same except he just didn't wear the vest. So hopefully they're still working on that. Like AEW is still working on that belt, and we'll get the full thing at some point. Yeah, I didn't have any problems with the match itself.
I do like the build up where they had kind of like the head shrinkers and Rikishi kind of talking about like, the whole thing with the tribal chief, how, you got to give dominance and shit like that. And the entire match was Roman just like, submit to me. Like, he literally said at one point, bend your knee to me and call me your chief. And I thought that was like, unique. Like, it's different than just, I'm just going to beat you because I'm the bad guy. But it's, I want my family members to literally call me their elder and, submit to me.
Like, I hope that this next match with them, because, they're fighting again, unfortunately, I hope it's just not like a Hell in a Cell. I hope it's like a Chief match. You know what I mean? Like, you have to call me Chief.
I have 3 words for you. Jobby, prison, match.
Please no.
Hashtag book it.
Please no. I didn't hashtag book anything. I do like that Roman is a little aggressive in his character now. It was needed. He shouldn't be that big. He shouldn't be that ripped. He shouldn't have that much oil in his hair for him just to be some kind of wrestler who gets fed lines. Make me believe it. If you want to be a tribal chief, cool. That's fine. But I like how the camera zoomed in on him talking shit to his cousin. And I wasn't mad at what he was saying. It was like, I'd rather have him say that than say nothing at all.
Listen, you know what Roman has to do now? Elevate his game one step further.
What?
He needs the Samoan Spike.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, okay. Moves. What do you think of him taking Zack Ryder's move?
I thought that was kind of like a dig at Zack Ryder almost. Like, you take Zack Ryder's move, but kick out at 2. Like, basically just like almost like a dig there. But as far as what Swerve said with the Samoan Spike, listen, if they're going to do the Samoan Spike, let's go all the way. Give him the fucking tribal face paint. Have him come out just like as a fucking savage. Just like he's pissing on Mac's a toilet seat. Total fucking savage, man.
Listen,
Come on.
he got to have some Umaga light music, all of that, or Yamanga, as William Regal would say. I'm with you, man. He got to do it.
Drew, you're absolutely correct, but you have to wait until the first week of April for that. Don't worry, it's coming. You're gonna have 5 extras out there on the ramp, and then you'll get exactly what you're looking for.
And he's just gonna go through all of them.
He'll be walked in on the throne, so there'll be other men carrying him, but he'll be the tribal chief, and that'll be when he gets the belt.
He'll have the fire dancers and shit like that.
Everything. And then we talked about the speculation between him and Rocky Maivia. I don't know if it'll happen then, but that would be kind of the over-the-top WrestleMania main event that this company has not had in a long time that is desperately needed.
Oh, believe me, they're planning for it, man.
I mean, at this point, I hope so, because I don't want to sit here and bitch at, oh, damn, Roman versus Brock again. Then bitch Roman versus The Rock. Like, fine, let The Rock win. What do I care? Who are we going to take, Goldberg?
No, he wouldn't win. Oh, my God. Oh, I guess they're not going back to the station.
What the fuck happened there?
You know, it was a couple of fire trucks and a couple of loud motorcycles. Just a normal night over here. So, yeah.
Well, I will say I'm very excited to see him get better with his heel promos, which are way better than his babyface promos. Especially even when he's just doing natural, just like, shit talking.
So
he's a natural.
Is Heyman on the mic on SmackDown? Because I don't see it.
Heyman's like almost like that hype guy. Like, he'll hype it up, but Roman's doing a lot more talking than Brock did.
Yeah, he's gonna have to, because when it comes to WrestleMania, you're gonna have to have his the best game ever as far as being on the mic, and Paul Heyman's not gonna be able to get him out of that one. You're gonna have to go. You gotta have to be able to go, back and forth with The Rock, at least from January to, WrestleMania.
Gotcha. Now, before we can keep it wrestling, Drew, we gotta take a sidebar. I need your analysis on the 8th overall pick. What do you think?
It's a good pick. I mean, it's Buffalo, so he's gonna be in Rochester for the next 6 fucking years. Probably waste his prime, and then he'll go to, probably like, someplace like Columbus and actually show up. But yeah, he's the guy I wanted.
All right. That's hockey we're talking here.
Yes, sorry, Jack Quinn, just drafted by the Buffalo Sabres. So
he has a Buffalo name. That is a Buffalo name, Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to hope for a Rochester name, because you know how this fucking team is.
All right, taking it back to the square circle. I asked if Paul was more, or if Paul was as vocal with Roman as he is with Brock, because that would say a lot. But Roman seems to talk shit in the ring, and he never did before. And now that I see him talking shit, and I know that he can talk on a promo, and Paul doesn't have to, I never thought I'd say this, but give Roman the mic a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked to say that as well. But I don't hate his heel promos. I actually really like them. I want to hear more.
Okay, so the WWE is finally saying to us, all right, y'all finally got what y'all want. But how long are they going to give us what we want? Because I know at some point, Roman as a face is where they want him at. But I feel a collective of fans that are like, Finally. But the WWE is probably saying, yeah, we'll give you this for a little bit. But when we take the brakes off this heel shit, you know where it's going.
You know what they're going to do, right?
What's that?
They're going to do the same thing that they did with the New Day. All right, you want him heel? Let's make him heel. And then as soon as the fans make him babyface, as soon as the fans start cheering him, that's when Vince is going to flip that shit around. And he's going to make it look like it's a natural shift. But this is the strategy all along is, okay, you want to boo this guy? You want to boo him out of the building? Okay, fine. He's a heel now, but you're going to make him a babyface.
So what's next for Roman, though?
Well, I'll tell you what's not next for him. Bray Wyatt's not next for him. It looks like Vince has scrapped all plans for Bray versus Roman.
Good, Vince. Thank you. No, not right now. No.
If you notice, the character of the Wobbly Walrus, who was play on Paul Heyman, has been totally scrapped from Firefly Funhouse. So yeah, those plans are dust. Those were supposed to lead us to next year's WrestleMania, and it's looked like it's not even going there.
Roman Reigns needs a bigger opponent than Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think you can make Bray Wyatt a bigger character than what he is right now by April. I can't see it.
WrestleMania's main events are good for two things: building a new star, or just having legends bring in a profit. And right. I don't think that they're going to be looking to build a new star. So yeah, bring in The Rock.
But you know what? I kind of disagree with that statement, and here's why. If the WWE is pushing their wrestling poker chips to the middle of the table and they're saying they're all in on this heel Roman, this is a new superstar. Because I don't care what anyone says, Roman wasn't a heel with the Shield. That was more Austin than anything. They've never had to build Roman as a heel. And
well, it was a heel with the Shield when the Shield was in the pocket of what's their face, the Authority. When they were like the Authority's lapdogs, they were definitely heel.
They were, though, because before they even became lapdogs, they attacked Undertaker, Rock. I mean, they attacked all of the major faces.
But I'm saying, no, about when Roman's by himself. Forget Dean and Seth. I'm just saying, just Roman. You've never seen a singles run from him as a heel before.
Oh no! Well, yeah, that's why everyone's so happy this is happening.
Right. So I'm saying, don't take the gas off of this. Keep it on him for a while.
It's not going to stay on super long. I'm telling you, it's going to end with a handshake between him and Rock at WrestleMania.
No.
I want it to end with a spear.
No, I mean, you'll get all of that. But I'm saying afterwards.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe a handshake and then he turn around and spear the shit out of him.
You ready for what's going to happen?
You know.
They're going to shake hands at WrestleMania. He's going to lowball The Rock and say, yeah, you kneeled to me. And then we're going to get twice in a lifetime the next year.
You don't feel like they're trying to turn a page here and developing the right superstars for who should be heel, who should be face?
I don't know, but Rock kind of made it clear that he only wanted to do one, and he would lay down because it's the right thing to do.
If The Rock and Roman raise hands in the middle of the ring, everything that you've built for since Roman's comeback will die. Please don't.
But that's what ultimately what Vince wants. So
leave The Rock in the ring, spitting in the air. Booker T, or not Booker T, but Stone Cold Stunner, action shots.
Listen, you know what's going to happen when they go out there. The Rock's not going to get booed, right? So it's good that Roman's is in the he's in the heel seat anyways. So the only way that you do that shift that I'm talking about is either the same night of WrestleMania after they shake hands, or the very next night when it's just Roman by himself. You have someone else come out and attack him, and that's how you get that instant rub off. Pause. Kind of like when the NWO attacked Hogan. Think of it that way.
Or what you do is to keep the heel paint on Roman is right around, I don't know, maybe November, December, January at Royal Rumble. You put your boy in the match and have him drop his Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank winner has to be a face. Maybe it's a Dale Bryan.
They haven't even seen him in a while.
I don't think that he's been wrestling because of COVID.
Well, he could be convinced.
But here's something that I can actually imagine. What if we get Roman versus Rock, not at WrestleMania this year, but at SummerSlam, and it's a total fucking squash? I'm talking, Roman just wipes the fucking floor with him. Do we then, sit there and go, okay, this is the real deal, and then we want to see that rematch at the next WrestleMania, or what are we thinking with that?
I don't think let that go into SummerSlam. That's too far.
And I don't think Rock would ever do that to his character. He's never been squashed ever. Who?
I mean, yeah, I understand that he's never been. Well, he's never been squashed. Are you sure? I'm.
Who? Give me a name.
Cena?
When Brock won his first title.
Oh, yeah.
That's not squash.
I mean, it wasn't super competitive.
It was one FI. Yeah, they reversed. It was a match.
Well, let me ask you this. You know who's a whore when it comes to wrestling? And this is whore season in a couple months. And I'm surprised he didn't compete at Mania. But do you guys think, now this is all barring the story, that Roman may have to run through the strong arm gauntlet and the WWE upper brass, but would you see Triple H possibly involved?
No, because he had to be a face.
You mean Triple H had to be a face?
Yeah, and Triple H is not good at being a face.
The only time he was good at being a face was when he came back from injury. And people were like genuinely excited to see him back. I love Triple H, so I don't care. But, we argue all the time. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Shawn Michaels looking like Nas right now, dog. And Triple H looking like Jay-Z. That's all I gotta say about that.
Hey, I mean, when you kiss the right asses, that can happen.
Man. Yeah, funny. Or you piss off the right people. And then you got debt to be paid. I don't know how they're gonna do the next couple months with Roman though. Is he gonna be involved in a Survivor Series match where he's picking teams?
I think he fight, who's the other brother? Jay? He's gonna fight Jay 2 more times. Or 2 times. And then, after he fight Jimmy, I don't know which one he fight right now. But he gonna fight the other one.
So if the WWE has scrapped all plans for Bray, now mind you, let's go ahead and get into the draft because there's a lot of uncertainty right here. Do you see the moving Roman to Raw because this is a Raw character?
I think that the purpose of the draft was so that Roman can move to Raw.
So now that begs the question: what's next for Roman if it's not Jey Uso?
Well, I mean, you'll have a top contender in Drew McIntyre at least for a little bit.
So Drew's moving to SmackDown then? If Roman's on Raw?
No, I think Drew will lose his belt, and Randy will take it over to SmackDown.
So many losses and he doesn't get a rematch?
Who? When you say so many losses, what are you talking about?
Randy.
You said Randy?
Yeah, like Randy lost so many times, and then if he gets a win, Drew doesn't get a rematch.
When does the draft take place?
Friday.
Oh, it's happening before pay-per-view? Before they're Hell in a Cell?
Right, but
well, it's the start of the draft, right? It's not going to all be everything in one night, is it?
No, there's some more Friday and Monday. But wrestlers will still compete. Or it'll be a clause where it's like, oh, if you lose, the title will go, or whoever wins will go to the blue brand or the red brand, however you want to phrase it.
There's going to be a couple of weeks where they're just like mixed up and you don't know who's on what show. But that's how I think it's going to go. I mean, Randy Orton has had a lot of one-sided storylines. I'll give him this. He's good at looking like he still belongs in the picture, even though he loses the majority of the feud. I mean, he's done that with Jinder Mahal. He's done that with Kofi Kingston. He's doing that with Drew McIntyre now. He can't actually. He's got to win one of these. So I think that he's going to take this belt and then, cash out of there.
Hey, I hope so.
Because I can see a renewed Randy Orton versus Bray versus The Fiend. I mean, that might not be anything anybody's interested in, but at least it's not Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It's also not Braun Strowman.
I don't even know what show he's on anymore.
I mean, he's on Raw Underground, but I think he's still
SmackDown?
Yeah.
So there you have it. You have some mix-up with just your heavyweight contenders, and I think that's really all you need to change. Like you said, Roman's a Raw guy. Paul Heyman was with him now. I mean, it just really doesn't even need to. It doesn't belong on SmackDown, unfortunately. And they know that, and they're trying to think of a way to get him over there, and this is how you do it. What the hell our neighbors are doing upstairs, but I don't know of any other major players that they could have for the drafts. I mean, the women's tags, they're going to be on all shows. I imagine you split up Bailey and Sasha at some point, and one of them has to go to other show, depending on where that goes.
I think that it's probably going to be some NXT stars will probably be coming up, and you might see some struggling people on the who struggle on the main shows going down to NXT.
You said you won't see that, or you will?
Yeah, you might see that.
So I mean, I wasn't even sure if they were going to be a part of it, but it sounds like they will. I don't see Finn Balor coming up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that draft is just because it's a weird time. Like, when have they ever done a draft in like October?
I think it's some just to build ratings.
And I mean, I know it's Survivor Series is on the horizon pretty much. I, me personally, I probably would have waited till you know after that because the new signings won't even be that fresh before you're making them compete again
Yeah.
on all their little stupid SmackDown versus Raw stuff. So I don't know. I think that this is a weird time to have it, but like you said, they need to spike ratings. They need to move some people around. And what was that thing they were doing not too long ago that they gave up on very, very quickly, where you could only have what was it, you allowed four or something like that, four guys and girls to come over for one show for a certain amount of time. What do they call that?
Oh, was that the shakeup or something?
Probably Superstar. I don't know if it was Superstar Shake. I thought they called it something else, but yeah, but they quickly forgot about those rules or whatever. I don't even think they remember the rules they put in place because it was like 6 or 7 guys we were seeing week 2. So yeah, let's just hope that this draft they can at least stick to it for I don't know 4 or 5 months because that's one of the things, at least in the old days, to me that made some of those matches really great. Like I talk about Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels all the time because they were restricted to their brands until they had that clash, and it made it special. You got people swapping every week. I'm never gonna care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean they got to do something to like not just shake up the show, but help the people that you're sending. You can't just send somebody just for the sake of sending them. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't just send a guy just because you're sending a guy. Just do something to help your roster. I guess I'm just talking in circles, but yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I had to help my wife with the groceries. Right.
He wasn't gone that long. Would you only get one bag?
When it comes to groceries, I'm one trip. If it's one trip, I ain't gonna do it.
Hey, amen to that.
Yeah. There's 2 big boxes, and my right hand is just pink as hell because I've trained at grabbing it, and I just stacked them on top of each other. Wow, babe, what? You went in there and saw the TV? Loser. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to deal with this from now on.
Oh, so Mac, let me throw a quick question at you. Did you hook up the main event yet?
What's the main event? Oh no.
Okay.
Come on, man. I'm waiting for my boy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Just wondering.
No, I'm waiting. I did, however, set up like 80% of the TV stand, but he ain't left the box. And kind of to go back to the intro, to tie everything up together, the main event Swerve's talking about includes the television, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the AKA, I didn't want to ruin your mood, was Swervey saw on one of our favorite retailers website where the TV was less than what I paid than what I originally got it for. So I was kind of pissed when I saw it, but I checked my receipts and I was still able to return said TV that I bought. So I said, I'm clearing the window or getting a price adjustment. That ended up saving another $200 on top of already $400 for a damn good TV. So, no, that might be this weekend. So, we'll talk.
Okay, it may have to be a Sunday, but all right.
All right, we'll talk. So getting back to the draft, we're moving, guys. Drew, I hear what you're saying, man. I really do. But I think now, when you've got right now, the WWE is like, I watch Big Brother, right? I just started watching it. I don't know if you watch it. Anybody else? Okay. So they have competitions where you have to put together. I blew it up something nasty here. You want to mute yourself. You have these competitions where you have to like put together like puzzles, and one wrong piece of the puzzle, it's still wrong. Right now, the WWE has a puzzle, but they've got one right piece, and that one right piece, maybe two, but I'll give that to Roman and Randy, because I wasn't buying the Randy shit, but now that time has passed and I've been forced to buy what they're selling with him, I've accepted it, but they've really got this Roman shit right. Now they have to build off of that. So the next thing they have to do is not put square pegs in round holes. So don't stack up a Fox SmackDown roster with 8+ guys and then leave trade guys on Raw. You've got to split it up right. You've got to put guys together that make sense. If you're going with Ali and this Retribution shit, that's Raw. Leave Raw underground. Something may come of that. Put Raw or put Roman on Raw. That's what you have to do. I don't know what else you want to do. Maybe you move. We talked about Big E. I don't know where he hangs now. If he's a SmackDown champion, I mean, do you really care?
Not really.
Take a Roman off of SmackDown, you're saying?
Right. So if you take Roman off of SmackDown, and let's say you give Big E a shot against, let's say Orton does win and takes it to SmackDown. I mean, are you really giving Big E props for that?
That's what you have to do, unfortunately. Because Roman's heel turn is like right now is something you can't put a halt to on the momentum. At least you shouldn't. Like I said, this has to go at least till Mania. So Big E, unfortunately, would be a casualty if he stayed. I'm sorry, if they stayed on the same show. If you're trying to build him up, Randy Orton is the person to have the belt, and if someone's going to take it off him, that could be done that way. It just can't be Roman right now.
Mm.
So yeah, if you have a show with two champions, people would care.
You know what all this is making me want though? It's making me want to play a wrestling game. Because you actually you have Roman where he should have been 3 or 4 years ago. And I actually want to play as this Roman character because possibilities are endless with how you can move him around with different storylines and different angles. And for the fact that I'll go back to this, even with Paul Heyman in the room and Roman's still the biggest mouth, that has to be said. That's something. You got to align him with the right people. I don't know if it's Ricochet or Cedric Alexander. I have no idea. But what if it turns out Roman's the real leader of Retribution and he's been controlling shit from both sides?
Well, I think that would be very unfortunate.
That's the only way you can salvage it.
Wait, who are you trying to salvage?
Retribution.
So you're willing to kill Roman for that? That's what it's going to do.
I didn't think Roman would die off of that.
I think he will.
Well, I'm just talking on my ass right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like you said many podcasts ago, he's going to have a crew. Then those two folks already left, and they were the only ones fitting enough to be in it.
Yo, you know what? I kind of take that back. I don't know if he's gonna have a crew anymore. I don't want him to have, henchmen.
I think for like Survivor Series, he might have something like that, but it just won't go long.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, but at the same time, like Big E, if they're gonna try to push Big E, he needs to be in better situations than just battling Sheamus.
I mean, listen, the bro kick is deadly. I'm not gonna sleep on it, but yeah.
Sheamus is a top guy when all the other top guys are injured.
And that's sad to say because at one point in time, Sheamus was the shit.
You keep saying that, and I'm going over the months in my head trying to figure out when was that.
It was around Survivor Series when all the top guys were stuck in that Survivor Series match. They would put him as world champ.
For what he did with it, come on now, don't punish him.
The League of Nations?
Hey, look who was in that faction, Drew. Don't sleep on it.
I mean, so one thing, I don't know if this is just disrespect to the other guy or if this is just massive respect to Sheamus, but I remember him beating Daniel Bryan in seconds, but I don't really. That's an asterisk on that one because I don't know if they just hated Daniel Bryan more or it could have been anybody in slot B. I don't know.
The politics out of it, and the truth still remains that Sheamus beat down Bryan clean. Can't take that away from him. I hear what you're saying though, but I don't know in 2020 where Sheamus stands. I have no idea. And I don't think the WWE knows either. I don't think Sheamus knows. Nobody knows. Fuck, no one knows. And, he came back with the Jeff Hardy shit, and I was just like, what is this for? I don't know. They've got to build some new guys. They've got to build some new guys. They've got to take what they have, like Angel Garza. They've got to build new guys.
Sheamus hasn't been that guy since he was Rocksteady or Bebop. I'm not sure which one he was, but after that, when he came back, he hasn't touched the brass ring ever since, I don't think.
Listen, man. Take your man out of WWE UK, take him off of commentary, or NXT UK, and bring him back and put him in the fold. Wade Barrett. Bring him back.
Did you hear Barrett? So Wade Barrett is doing commentary right now for NXT, and he was asked about if he would do pro wrestling, like if he would actually get back in the ring. And his response was he's interested if he can get a match with Drew McIntyre. Since they're both UK guys, they both know each other well, he'd come back for a Drew McIntyre gig.
And he'll probably get that match after Drew has handed the belt to somebody else.
Yeah, no, and that's that's fine by him, but I can definitely see that being his gateway to getting back in the ring and this, getting matches with guys like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and stuff like that. So don't count that out at all.
I think when he's asked about that, he just has nightmares of those five meaningless intercontinental runs that he had, where he was just pre-showing the entire time. You just never didn't even know he had it.
And those matches with John Cena for the title where you knew he had no shot.
Yeah. So he might be hesitant to jump back in the fray with that.
No, that's interesting. It would have to be for the right type of spot for him, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving him more, thought than I think they will. I feel like they're just gonna, just say your opponent tonight is. You remember how Christian came back and he was like the first match for somebody on Raw that day? Like I thought they were gonna do him that way, and he was a world champion.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They've that's what I'm saying. Right now, they have like momentum is on their side. They can't. I mean, they'll find some way to mess it up. It's what they do. But damn, you hit a grand slam with Roman with this heel shit. And it's not like just turning him heel was the only part I'm commending them on. The way they introduced it, who they aligned him with, the mic skills, the change the tire, eventually new music. Keep this going. Don't stop now.
But shame on them for waiting so long to pull the trigger when there ain't no fans. And let me just be on record to say I don't think heel Roman needs Paul Heyman. But it's just a feather in the cap, if you will.
No, yeah, you're right. Because that was my point earlier. Like, he's not talking. He doesn't have to talk for Roman. Roman's not some Samoan brute who doesn't have a voice. Like, Heyman can go somewhere, but I don't know. And let's not forget, the Beast is around the corner. If WrestleMania bells start ringing and Brock's like, yo, them 4-month checks looking pretty nice, Vince. Call me. You've got that in the balance too. Because he's coming back.
If that's what they do with this, I'm not gonna even cover this anymore.
You wouldn't want to see a face Brock Lesnar?
No.
I don't want to see Roman versus Brock. That's what I don't want to see.
But it's different this time around.
No, it ain't.
All right.
Babyface Brock Lesnar would be the worst fucking thing ever. Because you know he's gonna fucking stand them for being a part-timer. So how are you gonna get crowd sympathy for his babyface comeback? Like, you don't.
Yeah, so you telling me, Mac, that you can see Brock in a headlock and the referee dropping the iron 2 times, and the third one he's getting some gas. You can see that?
And the referee just saying no and getting up, and Brock doing the Hulk Hogan shoulder pump. A couple close to the sternum. Yeah, I hear you. No. Yo, I've seen this show 1,000 times. I'm coming around the corner. I just don't know how, but I know it's there. That's all I'm saying.
Brock can come back, but he has unfinished business, and it is not with Roman Reigns.
Okay, I'll take that. Let's move on to punishment. I want to stick with that word, punishment. I saw something. I didn't watch it, but I saw something as I was gazing through the timeline earlier. And Drew, I'll ask you directly. Why is it WWE punishing Lana?
I would say mainly because of two reasons come to mind. A, Rusev being on AEW, and B, the money she's bringing in outside of WWE from TikTok, seeing as how she is the WWE performer with the most subscribers on that platform, and she has her own endorsement separate from WWE. I think that there's some ire there, and I think that they're punishing her that way. So those are the two reasons that I can definitely see them punishing her.
Now,
and then can't get a piece.
well, hold on, Westward. You're trying to figure out why I asked that question. Lana's been put through a table, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Damn, three weeks in a row.
I think that's what it is.
Who is she? Mae Young?
I don't know, but I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't have anything else.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I mean they just mad they can't get a piece of the action. It's kind of like selling that workout in the streets. They want to get their tax, they can't, so they lock you up. That's what they're trying to do. Cut me in, or I'm cutting you out.
Vice versa from a decent man. You make anything out of this Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt shit, or are gonna win?
It's basically just something pieced together because they took Wyatt out of the Roman Reigns angle. That's really what it feels like.
Yeah, that's kind of lost here. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they may have some decent matches that come out of it. This definitely isn't going to do anything for Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Haven't been following, and I'm hoping that maybe one of you have more insight. I know that since we're talking about the Fiend and everything, I know that I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss has assumed her full Fiend powers now. Maybe
It seems like it. I do know that she is doing a decent job acting during this role, but I've also been told that she has a lot of input creatively, so you could definitely tell she's going to keep this going to keep herself on TV.
Has she changed her look? Has she gotten any Firefly house paint? I mean, like, how far is she going to? Did she drop the whatever that talk show she had? She drop all that stuff and she's just full head.
So her hair is all disheveled and in messy pigtails. She's wearing the same shirt that she's been wearing the entire time, and she's talking a very monotone, spaced out, looking like at the camera, but past it, like she's just blanked out in outer space. And she's definitely just talking like she's washed cult member. She's definitely disheveled. But yeah.
So, and I really believe that was for Liv Morgan, but she just couldn't pull it off. So they said, "All right, well, we gotta go to our go-to, somebody we know that can do the talking part, and we're gonna give it to Alexa Bliss."
From what it looks like they were going to go with Liv Morgan, but then they just dropped the angle, and Alexa Bliss, who wasn't doing anything, she pitched the angle on herself, and she kind of like says, "Hey, that thing you're going to do with Liv Morgan, I'm willing to do it," and that's kind of where I heard that went, is her kind of just putting herself in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, she was probably the better person for it, just because we know that she could probably, with her mic skills, get a rise out of whatever parts that she might have in it. So, and Liv probably didn't live up to expectations, but so they had to drop her from that segment.
Now
Is
she's
my
back
guess.
with the Squad,
Huh?
and now she's back with the Riot Squad.
Causing ruckus when no one can see. Yeah. So I don't know what that leads to, though, when you just pair up a guy and a girl. I mean, there's no third person, so what are they gonna do? Like win the mixed match tag tournament? I mean, where does this go?
Well, I think that this can go where, like, what it's doing Kevin Owens, where she's kind of leading him to where she wants him to attack. So she's kind of leading the Fiend to his next victims.
Is she like the little sister to the big daddy?
Yes, that is the best analogy.
Mac, do you know what I'm talking about? Are you even there?
Mac, you still with us?
Mac is still here. What are you
Oh.
talking about, Corey? I was lost for a second. With Bliss.
Have you ever played a game? It was very popular on the 360 called BioShock.
Skipped right past it.
Well, let me tell you, sir, you missed out on a classic. But anyway,
Well, come on. I mean, my games back in the day was very limited.
yeah, I know. I'm just making you aware. But yeah, I guess that's what they're doing with that. But it's weird though, because you have Alexa Bliss being whatever this is, and on the other hand, Selena Vega is getting title shots back to back.
Yes.
So somebody explain this 180 that's been happening lately, because she never even earned the first one.
Hey, man, somebody's jaw is hurting backstage. That's all I can say. A lot of 7-Eleven going on. You know what I mean?
So you think is Aleister Black's jaw hurting or hers?
Hey, damn sure ain't Finn Balor.
Because he ain't getting nothing, so it must be he doing it for her. I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. He might be buffing helmets. I don't know.
Pray for Aleister Black, by the way, man, because I want to see him rise to something, man. I don't want to see that wasted. I heard they kind of changed his music around. I didn't see it, but I've heard they kind of mess some things up, and he don't even rise up like the casket thing anymore. Like, I'm just like, oh my god.
The music had nothing to do with him.
Huh?
The change in the music had nothing to do with him.
Oh, it never does.
So the reason they changed his music was because the people who were doing the music, a group called CFOs, they left.
The in-house band, right?
Yeah. So they were the ones who took over after Jim Johnson left. And so they were doing the music and they left. And when they left, the copyright for the music wasn't great as far as a deal for WWE and CFOs. So it looks like they're going to be changing a lot of the wrestlers' themes once they get a new in-house music people to change a lot of what CFO was doing.
Was that the same thing that happened to Keith Lee?
Yes. That's the exact same reason why they changed Keith Lee's music.
And speaking of Keith Lee, where does he stand in the rankings now? I know he beat Andrade not too long ago, but I'm guessing that was like his first clean win since he debuted. Not debuted, but since he had fought Randy in that pay per view, and everything else has been just no DQ. I mean DQs and countouts and all that kind of stuff.
Yo, they're gonna fuck him up.
Gonna or have they already? That's the question I'm asking.
Well, a little bit, because you can see it coming around the corner. He's gonna be somebody, when you watch like the NBA or NFL or ironically like the NHL, and there's a draft or a free agency, and the commentator will go, well, whose stock goes up and whose stock goes down after all of these moves happen? And I don't think he'll move anywhere for the draft, but I don't think Keith Lee is now a big player on Raw. Because here's what's going to happen. Because they do this every draft or after every WrestleMania. You got to watch out for that first entrance after something big happens. Because normally that first entrance is a jobber. He turns out to be a jobber. You got to watch out for that. And Keith Lee, I don't know if they jumped the gun too early on him. Because if you bring him up, he should be champion right now. The way they were going with him. He beat Randy at the pay-per-view clean. He should have beat Drew in that match to go on to fight him at Clash of Champs or whatever it was. Like, he should be champion right now. But
you're loading on those guys though right away. Because otherwise they just don't know how to keep somebody baking until it's time to pull a trigger. One thing you can bank on is he will be an opponent for Roman if he comes over.
Look what you've already said, though. You just called him an opponent. He's not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I've never expected him to get the title in the first 6 months, regardless of where he showed up.
But he should be looking stronger than just getting DQ victories.
I agree.
And my problem with him is how old is he, Drew? 40?
I don't know if he's that old. Let me take a look.
No one's had what I'll call the best NXT debut. Was Kevin Owens. No one's had that since Kevin Owens, in my eyes.
So Keith Lee is 35.
All right. I prefer him being 28 and then you all making that statement. But 35 is like
boogeyman status.
Yeah. What you see is what you get. There is no champion in sight for Mans. You know what I mean? Not a lot of time for him to be like, all right, I'm just going to chill over here for 6 to 8 months and then swoop in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Time's ticking.
Well, let's not jump the gun here. You guys are forgetting WWE careers go all the way until you're 60. So.
Yeah, but you have to have some titles under your belt before you can say that you're a WWE wrestler at 60. I mean, if Ric Flair was never a world champion, nobody would be watching him at 60.
I suppose.
I mean, you got to figure it this much. I mean, Batista came in around 35, and I mean, they put the belt on him, fairly quick. I know he has. What's that?
You thought that was quick? I thought that was perfect timing. I didn't think that was quick at all.
2 years, so he was around 37 when he won his first belt. But don't forget, he was also not an established wrestler. I mean, he started late. So, he wasn't wrestling on indies. He was wrestling, OVW, which is their developmental, but, he started late and won it pretty quickly on their main roster. Keith Lee has been wrestling indies. He has been, all over the place. So for him to come in at 35, it's like, okay, we expect to see a little bit more than just DQ victories, you know?
Well, so all right, I don't know if we're doing a comparison between these two or not, but Batista was brought into a tier stable ran by the WCW killer himself, Triple H, and you know he was the last one to get it. Matter of fact, out of that group. So no, Keith Lee's not in a faction. He's got to go the singles route, which is always going to be harder. And he was and Batista was able to pick up tag belts and all that kind of stuff along the way. So all his losses didn't look that bad. You know what I mean? Whereas Keith Lee's on his own. It's a completely different route. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll happen in 2 years, but you probably won't see a good growth pattern on Keith Lee's side just because of how they treat things now. I mean, when Batista came up, the tag belts meant something, Intercontinental belt meant something. Right now, those other belts don't mean that. Don't mean anything.
Hell,
Really just title
Or-
that.
I'll say this, not to get off Keith Lee, but I'm a fan of Sami Zayn and the work that he's doing. I did catch the match at Clash of Champions. I'm putting that up there in match of the year candidate. It might not win, but I know we got the jabronis in like a couple months. But I'm putting that in there because when I'm watching these matches that are spot fills, I'm looking for something I've never seen before, and I'm looking for an innovative way to do it. And he did that when it comes to hooking Jeff Hardy's ear to a ladder and then hooking himself to AJ Styles, then hooking AJ to a ladder. And just the way that he was able to play around with the props. I go back to a comment made by Xavier Woods where he addressed where fans were saying that wrestling is fake. And he's like, wrestlers are like thespians. They're actors and playwrights. And they have to put on a show with what they have in front of them because what they have in front of them is what you have in front of you. And the fact that he's just making this magic happen with these ladders and these handcuffs, it looks so sweet. And it's something that was missing from wrestling in a long while. It made you look at the screen and go, head nod, okay. That was
natural heel.
Natural heel. Like, I don't want to say cowardly heel. I'll say like a deceptive heel.
He's annoying.
Yeah.
Naturally annoying.
He's like you want to just finger point at him like, get your ass next time. But that was good. You think you slick. That's the mom talking to you where you better get your ass whooped and you kind of you make a couple moves and she said, all right, you better get your ass whooped next time. I'm gonna get you. That's who Sami Zayn is. And I just appreciate that from him. Because it's not often that we get that from superstars. And if he can bring some more credence to the Intercontinental Championship bracket, please do it. He should be the champion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's definitely he's a guy that I could definitely feel will go far. I like the fact that he's naturally just an irritating person. And I think when he was a babyface, he was too irritating as a babyface to actually care about. But as a heel, it fits.
Yeah, he's not a heel that you hate. He's just a heel you can't stand. But he's doing his job. That's like when Roman was a face you couldn't stand him. It was because it's like, you're not doing your job. It's just like, this isn't you. On the flip side, Sammy's a heel that you can't stand because he's doing his job. His job is to make you not stand him at all. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's doing it very well.
Yeah.
Anyone know what the hell's going on with the women's situation? Because right now I just see Asuka as the champion, and I don't know what's going on with Bailey and Sasha and whoever else.
Well, Bailey and Sasha is still a go. I just don't know when they're doing it, but that's that much I know. I don't know about the rest of them. Like I said, Zelina Vega was challenging for the belt. I don't know how she got there, but she's there.
You got to give me 2 out of 3 pinfalls. I'm not accepting anything less. You got to give me
Sasha Bailey.
Yeah, for Sasha Bailey, you got to be first blood for one of the matches. Like submission, and then you got to give me an Iron Man for the third one. Somebody has to die in the ring.
That's not the way I want to see Sasha and Bailey go at it for an hour. I'm sorry.
No, this would be a truncated. This would be 30 minutes. Hour match, but the first 2 matches will only take 15 apiece, and then you got your 30-minute Iron Man and then the final. You got to give me 2 out of 3 pinfall match. This has been boiling over for years since they were with what's the therapist's name? Is it Dr. Drew?
I forgot what their therapist's name is, like Dr. Alex or something. I think.
Well, the one that was with Kane and Daniel Bryan, right?
Yeah, I think it was like Dr. Alex or something.
I mean, we're talking like way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did that with Bailey and Sasha too.
Yeah. So you have to. It can't be a one-on-one and then another one-on-one at the next pay-per-view. You got to give me something big here. You have to give me a WrestleMania size match. If you're not going to give me that, then don't give me a regular match and just save it.
Yeah.
Well, I will say you have an opportunity to make it mean more than ever. I don't know when the first time they're supposed to meet, but if you put them on opposite sides at Survivor Series where they barely get to touch, that'll do a little building.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. They should do something like that. Yeah. So I think, Drew, do you have dirt or anything like that or no?
I do.
All right, well, shit. Roll me around in some mud. Call me Dirty D because a motherfucker around here wants to get dirty.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right, so how many of you guys played the old WWE video games back on like the 360 PS3 era?
Damn, that's old.
Not me.
I have.
Remember a mode called GM mode?
I do.
Well, there's a
I boosted my load in the first week.
There is a trademark in place for a general manager type mode in an upcoming wrestling video game, but it's not for WWE 2K.
Oh, damn.
It's for the upcoming AEW video game.
Oh, boy. They're going to 2K me, huh? Everybody's going to be mad and they're going to 2K me.
Chris Jericho is talking about his upcoming third cruise that he's going to be doing in October of 2021. And he announced the latest wrestler to sign on to appear on his cruise. That being his longtime rival, Kurt Angle.
What?
Kurt Angle will be in action on the Chris Jericho cruise.
That was his longtime rival?
Well, when he first started.
Kurt, don't do this, man. Please. I saw him on a Broken Skull joint with Austin. Kurt looks bad, man. I just saw a picture of him.
Hey, look, nothing Kurt can do will be worse than the way he went out to Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Did you see his any clips of his thing with Steve Austin?
No.
So Kurt Angle talked about the most embarrassing moment he had in WWE, and I think it was actually pretty funny. When he was inducted into Hall of Fame, and they come out for WrestleMania, they introduce like all the Hall of Famers. Kurt comes out and he does his pose for the pyro, and no pyro hits, and he's just sitting there waiting, and nothing happens. And then afterwards, he goes backstage like, "Guys, what the fuck happened with my pyro?" And they went, "Oh, sorry, Kurt, we used it all on Jeff Hart on the Hardy Boys entrance."
Wow. That's gotta suck.
The next thing that I have is Andrade and Angel Garza are officially breaking up as a tag team. It looks like Vince McMahon is just tired of the team and is moving on from them.
The thing I don't understand about Vince is, how do you get tired of something that you don't pay attention to?
I honestly believe that Vince makes tag teams just so he can break them up.
Yeah, you've said that before, Drew.
That is the fucking truth. The next thing that I have is EC3 is on the move.
Oh, Lord.
He just posted a promo video where he's headed to Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Otis has been the talk recently because we were wondering if they were going to be taking the briefcase off of him at all.
Mm-hmm.
From what it looks like is several writers have given options on how they can actually take it off of him, and their options to take it off. It looks like that he has one supporter who is kind of throwing a wrench in those plans, though. Any thoughts on who his supporter is?
Mandy Rose.
I mean, in the writing staff.
Kevin Dunn.
Vince is the one guy who's saying, "No, I want to keep this Money in the Bank on Otis."
I wonder why.
I have no idea, but yeah, he's still sold on him.
I think he has something super humiliating stored, and he just wants to do it those.
Thing is that I think Otis is the type of guy who will do it just because nothing really embarrasses him.
And that's unfortunate.
I mean, this is a guy who does the worm and calls it the caterpillar.
I thought we were done with the Eugene shit, Vince. Come on, man.
Lastly, did you see WWE's new stance on third-party accounts such as Twitch?
We talked about it.
No. We talked about their previous stance where they didn't want them to use their names. Now they have a new stance.
Is this stance like when you have a belt and you need an extra hold so you can tighten it up just a little bit? You go in the kitchen to grab that knife and just start wrenching it and creating a new hole so the belt can get tighter on you?
This is more of them going, "Hey, I know they didn't like our last stance, but this they're definitely not going to like. Like, they're going to wish that was their previous stance."
All right, so, what is
WWE is going around saying that they plan on having all their wrestlers sign new contracts. And in that contract, they are agreeing to sign over their Twitch accounts to WWE, where WWE will be the owner of those accounts. And the wrestlers will only get a percentage of income made off those Twitch accounts. That percentage will go against their downside guarantee. So you will only be making a profit off of your Twitch account that you do in your spare time if you make more than what your downside guarantee is on your contract.
So a guy like, I don't know, I was gonna say Brian Kendricks. He does wrestle. I'm trying to think of somebody like that is not gonna make shit when it comes to your 3 months. Okay, Ricochet.
Yeah,
Ricochet makes $125,000 a year in wrestling, let's say, and he gets on Twitch and is a part of a gaming community where people have to watch him stream, and he's bringing in $500,000. He gets to keep what, 80% of that?
Oh, if you think he's keeping 80% of that, you're out of your fucking mind. I would assume he'd be keeping 20% of that.
Even though his downside is less?
It don't matter. It's going, so any of that percentage they're giving you. So let's say they say in their contract, you get 20% of your revenue. That 20% is going towards your downside. You're actually not making a profit until that 20% is a higher number than your downside.
I want to know how many of these guys eat off a third party.
Paige said that she makes about $40,000 a month off of Twitch, and she's not right now.
She does not have an OnlyFans. That's Twitch. Oh.
That's Twitch.
So she's making a little under $7 a year on Twitch.
And I would be hard pressed to imagine she's making 7 figures as a non-wrestling personality.
Yeah, she's not doing anything like as far as even manager, nothing as far as wrestling goes, right? They should just leave her alone.
Well, they're not. And she went on Twitter and kind of made it known that she's not happy about this. She posted a post saying, you know, I've been doing some research and I've been doing my reading up on unions lately. Just saying. And Zelina Vega made sure to retweet it and like it because she's obviously somebody who's also hit by this, seeing as how she's huge in the cosplay community and the gaming community. And this is hitting her as well. I mean, for a lot of these wrestlers, you got to remember, they're only getting more than their downside guarantee if they're actually wrestling. And a lot of wrestlers who are doing this, you know, they're not doing house shows. You're not getting paid as much as you were before the pandemic because there's no house shows. So they're using a lot of this Twitch to kind of counterbalance what they're missing out on. And now WWE is kind of coming in saying, we want that as well. As far as a union goes, there's no fucking way that you get a union in that company unless you get somebody like Roman Reigns on board with it as well. Because they tried in the 80s with Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan squashed that fucking shit. They tried in the 2000s with Raven and Austin and The Rock squashed that shit. You're not going to get top stars to agree to this because that's money out of their pocket. Because unions are going to say you got to make these pays equal. And that means money out of the top talents going to mid-card guys. They don't want that shit.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough situation for... I could see if you were, you know, doing house shows and this third-party shit, but Zelina Vega, Kalisto, a lot of these guys aren't making bank wrestling on Mondays and Fridays. So...
Are they?
No, I'm saying they're not.
Okay. And then you also got to figure a lot of these guys were making their money on the house shows. I mean, how many of these guys have you not seen in months on TV? And it's because they've been doing all their work on house shows. And now that the house show business is dried up, you know, they're only getting that downside guarantee. They're not getting anything extra. So your downside guarantee might only be, you know, $50,000 a year. Which, yeah, you know, when I say only $50,000 a year, a lot of the viewers at home, a lot of listeners might be sitting there going, "I'd kill for $50,000 a year." Well, that's great, But you don't live in a home that costs $200,000 driving a
$100,000 car.
a Tesla car because you're used to getting that extra money. Your downside is 50,000, but you might have been making 400, 500,000 a year with all that other money that was coming in from, the merchandise, from the, house shows, from the time that you were on pay-per-views. Now that's gone. So now you went from 500,000 a year to 50,000. Yeah, a lot of people would kill for 50,000, but somebody who was making 500,000, they'd want to kill themselves. Like,
So what is AEW doing with Dark? And I mean, those aren't house shows per se, but how can the WWE combat that?
So their whole thing is with Dark. Yes, they are putting wrestlers on that, that aren't featured on Dynamite, but you got to remember their contract structure is a little bit different. They're not doing downside guarantees. They're doing, here's your paycheck, because we don't do house shows. We don't do, the touring that WWE does. This is how much you get paid a year, whether you work it or not. So guys who have not worked all year since the pandemic started have said, I've gotten paid every week.
They just need to go on strike.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the thing is you need a union to go on strike. Otherwise, you're just going to get fired. Like Vince is not putting up with that shit. I mean, Jesse Ventura, when he tried to unionize the business back in the 80s, was one of their bigger talents and got literally blackballed for a couple of years until NBC told them, hey, get that guy back. But, they're never going to get a union in this day and age because you don't have that untouchable star. You don't have that John Cena or that Austin that you can convince to align with the union and say, no, we need a union. You're never going to get that star.
Did you say John Cena?
Those guys could have really made an impact. But even if you get Roman Reigns on your side, Vince can live without Roman Reigns. He couldn't live without an Austin, a Rock, a Cena. Now you don't have that wrestler who's, larger than the company. He doesn't exist anymore.
Isn't that Drew McIntyre?
I think that they can live without Drew McIntyre. Especially if somebody like Paige is starting this, like, I mean, you could definitely imagine they're going to drop her like a bad fucking habit. And I'm actually expecting to see, hey, we're wishing Paige the best luck in her future endeavors, just because it's, as soon as you even say the word union around Vince, it's a no-go. But Roman's not going to sign on because he probably has a SAG card from doing Hobbs and Shaw. So he doesn't give a fuck about their health care. He doesn't give a fuck about their guarantee pay. He's got that shit. Same with Seth Rollins. He's a company guy through and through. Even if it helps his fellow wrestlers, he's not going to go against the company.
Yeah, man, that ride home with Buddy Murphy every week must be knowing one guy's on the one end of the pay scale and the other guy's on the other end of the pay scale. It's got to be pretty tough.
I'm sure Buddy got a bump for working with Seth.
I'm taking a bump.
But that's all I got for Dirt.
All right. I don't think we have anything else to cover tonight.
Yeah. Did Abby send anything?
Yeah, he sent an email. He said,
All right, let me pull it up. All right. Okay, so he sent kind of a long email. Thanks for that. I mean, I love reading your long emails because it's pretty much just like erotic fan fiction. But he writes, Mac Attack, congrats on the wedding. But where was the bachelor party, man? Where was the hedonism? Where was the last night out before it came crashing down to reality? Where was the 4 a.m. call to your girl to pick you up from Mighty Taco because you can't drive and your friends left you there? I think you were missing a best man. The guy who should have put together the best bachelor party ever. Like AEW's Kip Sabian has introduced Miro as the best man. It's going to be a banger of a bachelor party, but we all know he will inevitably will turn on Kip and take his girl. I think No Pyro Nation needs you, Total Matt, to tell us who is your wrestling best man. If you could choose anyone in the wrestling world to play the role of your best man, who would it be and why? How would her or she throw you? I think he meant to say he or she throw you the best bachelor party of all time. Would you invite the other two jabronis, or would they ruin the fun?
This is a very easy answer. And my wrestling best man would be the Godfather. He knows how to throw a party. He gonna bring the joints through. He gonna have it in the air. He gonna have it in the glass. And I think he would show me and my friends a hell of a time. And most importantly, I get to hear my favorite song ever. Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
I don't want no joints from Bailey and Broadway, bro. That's what you gonna get.
Oh, Bailey and Broadway, dog. Oh man, what you want, Broadway and Paderewski?
I don't want nothing from over there.
Man, listen, man. I know you went delve into Texas.
Mm-mm.
I would say Godfather. If it was a woman, I wanted to play both sides. If it was a woman, I would say
It's called Best Man. Why are you playing both sides?
I don't know, man. But
that's right. It is.
All right, Godfather would be my answer. If I had to pick a number two, somebody who looks like they get down, maybe I don't know.
You should pick MJF according to the internet.
I'm good. Taker or Austin. Don't open that without me.
Wait a minute. Did you say you would pick Taker or Austin as a number two?
Yeah, they be chilling. I'm more so, listen, my bachelor party we was chilling. That's, it wasn't nothing extravagant. We was just sitting around. I can't say too much because, she this is when her ears, I don't know, gained like 50 feet of hearing, and she didn't hear anything.
That's why you picking these wrestlers.
Like, exactly. Who's the Godfather?
Absolute worst choices. I mean, you might as well be picking Stevie Richards from Right to Censor.
Just be sitting around and talking about the life I'm giving up and the life that I'm getting. And that's real chill, man. I don't have to ask much. Now, I don't know, no chill. If you've seen The Best Man, but I know Swervey. Have you seen it? The movie?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
All right. Now, you know what I'm saying? I'm Murph. If you want to go ahead and throw something in front, I ain't gonna marry the chick. But if you want to go ahead and throw something in front of my face, then I ain't gonna say no, because that definitely has happened to me before. I'm talking there was no PJ bottoms on at all. My boy Lee said, "You got to tip that," and rightfully, that's what I did.
Was it birthday cake batter on it?
No, it was 9 to 5 on it. Definitely wasn't no candy on it, dog. Definitely was not no candy on it. But I wish, but it was a random 20. I don't do those. So I only do that if I know your mother. You know what I mean? The important rule. You gotta know her mother in order to do that. Drew's like, yo, I know I go off the rails, but what the fuck, Mac? I'm just giving the people some hope and some direction out here. Talking to a married man now. Trying to steer the people in the right direction.
I feel I'm listening to Joe Biden's talk right now. I really do.
Listen.
Like, when do I clap? Just fucking let me know when I'm supposed to clap.
Drew, I'm gonna leave you with this. Drew. Just don't be eating banquet dinners with anybody. I mean, you gotta pick the right one. That's all I'm saying.
Do I clap now?
Go ahead.
Great speech. Holy fuck. Yes.
Hey,
no, I said.
I could tell you, fuck what you heard about your $1,200. You're gonna get it after I win. I could tell you that.
I mean, I got it. You just gotta wait for it. But I got it.
Right. Yeah. Yes. See me after the third.
Look, man, I got it. I just don't got it with me. So next time I see you, I'll have it, but I don't got it right now.
And hood speaker is, yo, I'm gonna see you about that.
Yeah.
I told you, right?
That's a bad look. That is a bad look, dude.
Yo, you my man, right? Come on, dog. Yo, I got you.
You know I got it. I mean, look at these shoes. I got it. I just don't got it.
For it. Hey, come on, man. You don't go for it.
I mean, I gotta go to the ATM. Oh, I don't use that bank, so I can't go to that ATM.
Right.
Oh, no, you haven't heard of it. It's a small town bank. They only have like 2 ATMs. I mean, I got it. I'll let you know when I got it, but I got it right now. So I'll let you know when I have it on.
Is it Evans?
Oh, damn, my phone died. All right, bro.
That 2K, NBA 2K trailer looking real crisp.
Very crisp. I saw it earlier. Very crisp.
Yeah, just don't try to play franchise mode.
Well, I heard they're making some additions, so I didn't buy 2K yet. I didn't I mean, I know they're doing like the $10 upgrade shit, but I didn't buy it yet. I'm just gonna wait.
Well, there's no rookies. There's no rookies in that game.
What do you mean?
So you know how usually you go onto My League and you can draft, you can start from the draft.
Right.
Yeah, those rookies aren't in the game.
So they're fake.
No, it's just last year's rosters. And anyone who had an expiring contract just was put on like a contract that fits that salary cap. So, you'll see guys who, might be coming free agents this year who are just on a 1-year contract.
You bought the game?
No, that was the reviews. So I'm like, how is it? And I looked at those reviews. I'm like, nope. I'll wait till that goes on sale. God damn.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's like last year's rosters pretty much with like last year's rookies. Like there's nobody who's actually like a rookie. It's like Zion's the rookie, like, that class.
Got you now. Before we get the fuck up out of here, a couple RIPs I just want to hand out in the music world. RIP Johnny Nash. If you aren't familiar with the name, you know the song. I can see clearly now because the rain is gone. RIP to him. He died today. And RIP to a legend. Huge legend. And his name is Mr. Eddie Van Halen. Started the rock group Van Halen. Drew, as a youngin, I listened to certain kind of music. I didn't listen to Van Halen. I imagine you did based on some of the music that you like. I don't know if you have more of a resonance with that music or any memories or anything you'd like to share.
Yeah, I mean, I think Van Halen's one of those groups that you've heard one of their songs, even if you don't realize that you've heard one of their songs. He was the guitarist that influenced most guitarists that are out right now. Most good guitarists, anyone who's actually a decent guitarist. You know, if you ask them who their influence is, one of them's going to be Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know, he was royalty. If you have a rock Mount Rushmore, he's on it. So, you know, I guess he was battling cancer for a while. His son Wolfgang was the one who confirmed the news, and it is a big loss. 65 years old.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs is "Running with the Devil." Running with the devil. Good song. Yeah, I don't know too much of rock, but like you said, you heard a Van Halen song. I don't care if you're 2 or 202. You've heard a song somewhere, commercial, radio, ad, video on YouTube, song. You've heard it. The influence is there. Influence has been trickled throughout pop culture. Everyday life is just not just with him, but also with Johnny Nash too. With I can see clearly now the rain is gone. You've heard that phrase flipped so many times and used 1,000 times and twice on Sundays. So
Yeah, even if you don't know who he is, you've heard that song. I don't
right.
care if you're somebody who only listens to mumble rap and house music. You fucking heard that song.
Yeah. So two legends, both gone today. Man, I hate to leave you guys this way, but that's how we're going to do it for this particular episode. Just wanted to give them the proper just due.
And also rest in peace to Road Warrior Animal. We didn't touch on him last week.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. We did not touch on that at all.
He deserves his just desserts. You know, usually when we do a rest in peace, it's usually, you know, an older guy who has won titles in places where, you know, a lot of our listeners have never heard of. You've heard of the Road Warriors. They've won championships everywhere. They've been everywhere. You know, they used to show up in places with championships that didn't even exist. They were so over. They even coined the phrase "Road Warrior Pop," which is, you know, the biggest pop that you can get. If somebody comes back and the place explodes, that's called a Road Warrior Pop. You know, that's the impact they had on the wrestling world. And he was wrestling up until his death. It looks like it was basically natural causes. His son, of course, was former linebacker for the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
His brother is, you know, a high profile backstage person with WWE, John Laurinaitis.
James Laurinaitis, the linebacker, and then John Laurinaitis, Big Johnny.
A lot of people call him Johnny Ace, but yeah, that's you know, they, you know, Road Warrior Animal was, you know, like Van Halen about influences. Road Warrior Animal, if you're a tag team, that was an influence. So yeah, it's a big couple weeks for people that we lost.
Yeah. Well, gone, but damn sure. Damn sure. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Mac, aka TVD Mac, aka Sick Flair. Please follow us on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Apple Podcasts, where we are 100 and some odd episodes deep, where you can reach us and listen that way. Joining me as always, Swervely, aka 2 Sub Swerve. Excuse me, aka 1 Sub Swerve. Swervy Atmos, aka Swollen Pal, aka Yoko Tuna. And last but not least, No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka we out this bitch like a newborn. Appreciate the congratulatories for me. Drew, I will speak for you. We appreciate the happy birthdays for my man over there. And we're going to see y'all next week. But until then, doses.